shouldn't fall in love with your captors. This isn't the Patty Hearst animated story. With cool, catchy songs.
Your back.
Hello, and welcome to Cinematics Problematics, where we celebrate your guilty pleasures. I'm Chrissy Reddig.
And I am Erin Maxwell. Once upon a time, there was a man, and that man drew a mouse, and from that mouse grew an empire. In that empire was a whole slew of princesses that were appropriated from different cultures, who are all public domain and free to use. Yay! We love a happy story. In the beginning, these princesses were very simple. They were just young little girls who needed a man to save them. And that was very simple. But then, as audiences kind of evolved, so did the princesses. And a new generation of princesses came forth. Ones that were resourceful and intelligent, and yet still had to get married at the end of the movie. Recently, these princesses have come under fire because, well, even though Disney princesses have evolved dramatically over the years, there's still quite a few issues with them. There's some issues with how they act. There's some issues with how they grow as people, and a little bit with issue with the story arcs. And today we're going to tackle the so-called princess problem. For the point of this podcast, we're just going to kind of talk about the Renaissance era princesses. We're not going to kind of dip down into the golden era where princesses were saved by sewing mice, or they only had like a handful of words. So for this, we're just going to tackle Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Pocahontas. So sorry, Aladdin fans, but Jasmine was not the central focus of that movie. And we're not even going to cover The Lion King. Again, not a princess, not a central focus.
Nor is the Hunchback.
Nor is the Hunchback, yes. So you can see where we're going with this. Chrissy, when was the first time you saw any of these three lovely movies?
Yeah, so I first saw, I saw The Little Mermaid in the theater, and I'm pretty sure I saw it with my dad. And I was a wee little thing back then. It was probably like the most age-appropriate movie I'd seen with my dad up until that point. And I adored it. I loved Disney movies. I grew up on Disney movies. I watched, Snow White. I watched Cinderella. I watched all the Disney movies, and I adored them. And so I feel like this was like kind of the beginning of Disney's like new golden age. With like really beautiful animation and incredible songs. Like the songs in this film they just slap all the way around. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved Ariel, and she was kind of like this aspirational, beautiful kind of princess, and she had like this cool little shell bikini thing happening. And I was like, I can't wait till I have boobs so I can wear a shell bikini, because I did not have any at the time. I didn't even have them until I was like 21. Anyways, it was a beautiful story. It's like love at first sight. It's like what we've been told, since we were little kids. And it was kind of just, reinforcing a lot of those things. But at the same time, it's like I didn't notice when I was a kid. I was just like, pretty lady sees pretty man and they fall in love instantly. And there's great songs in the middle of it. And she swims. It's like, awesome, great. It was incredible. And I memorized that entire soundtrack. And I still, to this day, if somebody just starts singing Part of Your World, I cannot help but finish the entire song. The last time I did this, Erin, and I don't even think you know this story. The last time I did it, I was at a rave. And a friend of mine injured herself. And so we take her outside. And there's this like nice man who comes over, and he, is like, oh my God, is she okay? And everything. And I don't know how The Little Mermaid came up or how the song came up, but he just said, look at this stuff. And I said, isn't it neat? And then we both started singing the song, and we did not stop. We did not stop until the end, and we were belting it at the top of our lungs.
The same thing happens to me with George Michael's Faith.
Oh, that's a good one.
You like, it's gonna be nice, and then you're like, I can do the whole song.
I'm sure. But yeah, so that was like my first, it made an impression on me. I hadn't watched this movie in forever. So it was like a blast from the past to watch it again. I knew every single line to the movie somehow. And I think it was like a perfect movie for that age and for little girls, even though by today's standards, it sends the completely wrong message. What about you, Erin?
Well, funny enough, Disney movies, animated Disney movies, were not allowed in my house. And it was strictly because my dad was raising two daughters, and he thought that they had a terrible message, and he didn't want the message to be that we had to find a man to save us. So we were not allowed to watch, I mean, okay, we were allowed to watch like Robin Hood and things like that, but we weren't allowed to watch specifically the princess movies because he thought that they were terribly made and not great for women.
Wow.
On top of that, when I was older and then Little Mermaid came out, I refused to watch it because I had grown up on Tom Haddon's Family Film Festival, and they showed a 1980s, 1970s, I think, version of The Little Mermaid that was adhered to the original story, where she's, she can't walk, she can't speak, she gets dumped by the prince, she turns into sea foam. The end.
That's
And
not very Disney. That's not a very Disney movie.
traumatized as a child watching that because I probably saw that when I was 6. That when this new one came out, I'm like, oh, fuck that. So
So Disney improved upon it. Like,
they
and
did,
it's,
and I
yeah.
didn't realize that until much later. I finally like gave in, like, think a couple of years later and watched it on like VHS, and like it was lovely. It was so wonderful.
Yes.
And
I mean, yeah. I mean, how can you? I mean, I think I still, my mom, I think, oh my God. Now that I think about it, I think in like my mom's like giant, like armoire entertainment center type monstrosity thing that's in the living room, we have all these old VHS tapes. And I think the Little Mermaid, like clamshell, like that soft, like video cassette
mhm.
case, I think I still have that.
Oh, that's worth money.
I mean, if the tape hasn't disintegrated, sure.
Yeah, yeah. No, collectors want that. They want that.
Well, I'm gonna raid her apartment then, or her house. Do you have anything else to share about your first time seeing this?
I mean, after that, I saw Beauty and the Beast, and then I kind of skipped Pocahontas. And I will talk about this more later, but that was a wise decision.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did see it like later on,
Mm-hmm.
but then realized that it was not for me. And
Mm.
again, we can discuss this because I know it has a lot of fans, and I worry about them.
Well, yeah, we will definitely get to that one. So, do we want to launch into crimes against Beauty and the Beast?
I just quickly want to go over what happened to all the real princesses. Just
Oh, yes. Please tell us.
so we already covered Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid never got Eric, never got the prince. In fact, what happened is that she got legs, but they were so painful to walk on that she spent most of her time sitting and looking yearningly at the prince, who then completely like misunderstood, treated her like a sister, and then fell in love with another girl. And she needed to kill him to get use her voice and legs back, return to the sea. There's a deal the sea witch made with her sisters, who gave him all of her hair, and she refused to do it, so she turned to sea foam and died. The end. Although in the original story, there's something about her like not having a soul because she was like a mermaid, but this gave her a soul. So I think there was like a weird Catholic or Christian bent to it.
Jesus Christ. I mean, not to take the
Beauty
Lord's
and the
name in vain
Beast,
after
that
that one,
was
but
more simple. No Gaston, no mobs, no library flirting. Just a very polite monster, really. He didn't really yell at her. He was very lovely. He gave her a lovely room. And it was very early 18th century moralizing about virtue and gratitude.
wait, are you talking about Beauty and the Beast or Little Mermaid right
I know
now?
this
Okay.
is this is Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Yeah. And then moving on to Pocahontas, that one you're going to need a lot of drinks because that's a real story. And what happened to poor Pocahontas is upsetting. She ended up like getting taken and moved to England.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then she married a Christian and her changed her name to Rebecca and died shortly after, never returning to her homeland after she was viewed as an oddity.
Mm. Yeah. Yep. We will
Didn't
dive into
really-
the history for sure on that one.
Yeah, it didn't really fit into a song.
Oh, they beg to differ.
I mean, I know there's a sequel, and I think she goes to England in the sequel. I'm aware that that occurs, I think, and it might be the sequel or the one after that. I don't know, but I can tell you that that movie doesn't have her dying in England either.
Yikes. And there's maybe it's because she can't sing to the Blue Corn Moon in England.
Yeah, yeah. She lost her way. There was no Grandma Willow to
Oh
guide her on
man.
her little way.
But there are buildings and bridges, just like John Smith said.
Yes, yes.
Shouldn't that be impressive? I mean, come on.
So let's tackle these sins. Which sins do you want to start with? You
Let's
want to
start with the Little Mermaid.
All right, Little Mermaid. She gives up her voice for a man.
Yeah, she does. Okay, and by the way, not just it's not like she had a crappy voice or something like that. She had a beautiful voice. It was like her trademark, right?
Yeah, yeah. She was the favorite of all of the other sisters, and her father loved her the most, and that was clear. And it was because of her voice.
Awesome. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, definitely sends the wrong message to little girls. It's just like, do not give up something so important to your identity for a boy ever, you know? And, and here's the worst part. Here's the worst part. Part of the deal is not only just giving up her voice, okay? There are tons of very, very troubling things in the fine print, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you have 3 days to make this guy kiss you. 3 days. That's not long. 3 days is nothing. And also, she will become human forever, and she won't be able to see her father or her sisters ever again. Like, she's completely abandoning her community for some guy that she saw at the fucking gym who was hot, and she's just like, I'm gonna make a shrine to this dude and bow down to him. I've never talked to him. She doesn't even know if this guy is like dick pic guy. She doesn't know.
Yes.
Like, he could totally be dick pic guy. All she did is see him, and he's hot. And all he did was see her, and she's hot, and she can sing. Like, he isn't even interested in conversation, kind of like what Ursula was talking about. Like, he just wants to hear her sing. Just sing there and look pretty, girl. That's all he wants.
She sacrifices her entire identity of who
Yeah.
she is,
Mm-hmm.
being like a little mermaid.
She's 16, Aaron. God.
You know what? She looks like she's 5'7". I don't know. I'm 5'2". Am I little Aaron?
Wait,
Do
I
I
knew
get to
five,
add
seven,
that to my
16-year-olds, I think. Like, girls, yeah, for sure. Right?
I had issue because she looked kind of tall and svelte. But anyway,
Well, she
but yeah, she
was.
gives up her entire identity for romance or for the concept of romance
For the
because
idea of
yeah.
romance. It wasn't even a sure thing. She's not even sure how this guy feels about her. And she's just like going to chuck it all just and give up her voice just to see if she can get with this dude.
And
Wrong.
also, the movie has an issue with what is considered rebellion and fighting
Mm.
back because, like, she sacrifices everything and does it as an act of defiance because she sees her father as unfair. Truly, when you get older, it's really like siding with her dad. It's really because like it makes sense. Like you don't want to go to these people that are consistently killing our kind and eating our kind. That kind of sounds kind of horrific.
Yeah, I mean
She
it's
doesn't.
reasonable,
Yeah,
right?
very reasonable.
By the way, she had it pretty good down in the ocean. I have to say, she was like a princess. She was like the prettiest sister. All of her other sisters were kind of cross-eyed and goofy looking. She was gorgeous. She had a beautiful voice, and like
They
she
threw
was
giant
rich.
concerts to celebrate her and her
Yeah,
beautiful voice.
yeah. I mean, and the more people all look like very friendly folk.
Yeah, they live in castles and
They live in
shells.
castles and stuff, and there's dancing crabs and eels and all sorts of like snails and everything. It's like what like she doesn't even know what she's going to. She could wind up in who knows what kind of city. What's a bad city in in the United States? What's a bad
I
city?
mean, I think every city has its ups and downs. So maybe Atlantis has a slum or something.
She was not living in the slum of Atlantis. Like that wasn't happening.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's like LA where like if you turn the corner, you're suddenly in a bad neighborhood.
That's true. Maybe maybe Atlantis was like the tenderloin of San Francisco. It didn't look like it though. It didn't
No,
look like it.
I mean, like you can make LA look great and then you can turn the corner and it doesn't look great.
That's true. That's
So
how I
maybe
wound up
we're
on
just
Skid
looking
Row
at
by accident one time.
yeah, we're just looking at the good parts.
Yeah. I mean, there was a way to do that. There is definitely a way. Okay, so she gives up her voice for a man. What else do you got?
Her story only ends when she gains male approval, both from Eric and her father.
Yeah. And it's like the whole idea of like, you're not a complete person unless you completely. I mean, there are some kind of like undertones to like abandoning your culture, kind of, and like assimilating to kind of like a dominant culture, even though like they haven't been completely accepting of you and you're kind of like going into it blindly. She doesn't know what this world is like. And all she's seen is this freaking castle and the kingdom. She doesn't know anything about this place. And she's like, well, it must be better. because it's different. And that's not necessarily true. So she's like giving up her identity, she's giving up her community, she's giving up her family for this dude that she saw one time on a ship, right?
I don't actually fault her for the kissing with only 3 days to know because when I was 16, I kissed a lot of boys.
You're right. You know what? You know what? You're right. Like I didn't. I did not. I was not that girl. Not because I didn't want to be, but because boys didn't want to kiss me.
Oh,
But it's true.
no, don't say
It's
that.
true. It's true. I didn't
Don't say
blossom
that.
until much, much later.
I was
Um,
I was a train wreck when I was 16 with bad frizzy hair and no fashion sense and somehow managed to find a few guys to want to kiss me.
oh my God, I was so boring. All I did was like go to movies and do Model UN and dance drill team and cheerleader, and that's all I mean, that's all I did. Like that was like my entire identity, and I was such a goody two shoes, and like all I did was like study and do my homework and do all the clubs and stuff. And so I was a prude. I didn't have any of this action going on when I was 16. Not that I didn't have crushes or something. I did. Would I give up my entire voice for them? Probably not. But, you know.
To be fair, I think 16 is when I had my first kiss because I was a tragic head case before all of that.
Oh, wow. Did the kiss heal you?
It did. It
Did it
did.
make you a better person?
I was so proud. I got my voice back and then immediately said, "Fuck you."
That sounds like a very Aaron thing to do. Kiss me and then slap him across the face. Fuck
Yeah.
you, dude. That makes a lot of sense. That tracks, actually. How did we converge to be so similar in humor and everything when our backgrounds are so different?
I don't know. I think it's just a good parenting.
I totally agree.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. So
Well,
there's that. What else? What else do you got?
that's it for I have for Ariel. Shall we move on to Belle?
Okay, I want to ask you one question before we move on to Belle. Ursula.
Oh, she was a diva
She
with
was
a
a
good evil
diva.
husband.
But do you okay, so apparently she's based on one of the characters from one of your favorite directors.
I know. I know. She's based on Divine.
Yes, John
Yeah,
Waters Divine.
it
And
is.
do you think that it well, okay, so first of all, witches are bad. Witches are evil. Women who have magical powers are bad. Um,
And don't think that we just also Pat Carroll, who did the voice of her, is also kind of in there a little bit as well.
okay. Yeah. So there is a thing out there, and we don't have to give it too much airtime if you don't agree with it, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
Hmm.
That like the fact that she was a larger woman and very much based on this, and it was kind of like she's like this evil presence, and it kind of made it like this weird depiction of like witchery and her being bigger and that being like an evil bad thing. And I don't know, like do you think that there's any weight to that or no?
No, and I'll tell you
Okay.
why. Because in the next movie, Mrs. Potts is a bigger woman,
She's
and
a pot.
but she totally is a bigger woman. And they based all their shapes and stuff on the shapes of the people.
Right,
Like
but
there's
all
a candlestick, so he's this felt candlestick, and so like
there's no skinny pots though.
well, that's why they turned her into a pot. I feel like if she was skinnier, she also would have been a candlestick, or maybe
Well,
like
right, then she wouldn't have been a pot. I think we needed the pot.
I'm just saying that that was a really nice teapot. She was very
No,
lovely,
it was a great teapot.
and
I
she was
love the
definitely had was bigger downstairs. She was like she was all full figured. She was a full figured pot.
Okay, I'm not buying this. Let's move on. um, but we can move on to Belle. Let's go on to Belle. Do you wanna start us off? What do you want to do?
Sure. Let's talk about Stockholm syndrome.
A little bit. Yeah, let's do that. I had that one too.
Oh, goody. Yeah. You shouldn't fall in love with your captors. This isn't the Patty Hearst animated story with cool, catchy songs.
Right.
If someone is keeping you against your will, I don't care how nice they are or how many libraries they give you. You should try to escape constantly. Maybe scream a little bit. There is a point she's allowed outside. I would have just head for the hills, buried myself in the snow until he got tired looking for me.
Yeah, it's like they kind of, I mean, this might be a separate one, but it kind of goes with what you're just saying. Like this whole idea of like if an abusive person is nice to you, it kind of like absolves them of all their abuse. because he's a dick. He's
Oh,
like he's like got a temper tantrum. He's like throwing stuff. He's like growling at her. He's yelling and roaring at her. He's breaking shit. He's knocking stuff over. He's making her his prisoner. But if you get me a library, all is forgiven,
mhm.
right? I mean, it's not like materialistic, like he got me a necklace or something, but it's like you got me stuff that I like, and I that makes you a better person, I guess. And I'll get all googly eyed for you and forget about the fact that you just smashed a vase against the wall or whatever because you got mad I wouldn't come to dinner or something. You know,
And he's scary. He's a scary beast.
it's a great beast, great
Yeah,
animated beast.
he's like a good 3, 4 feet taller than her. Like he can easily kill her. He's got big claws and big fangs, and he's terrifying.
Yeah, like she's as tall as like the width of his chest. Like
Yeah.
he's huge.
My other sin I have for her is that she's very much a pick me girl. She's a not like other girls trope, and that is introduced very early in the movie with her opening song.
Interesting. Okay, okay. I actually I'm gonna push back on this one a little bit. I don't. Okay, I think Ariel is a pick me. Ariel is more pick me than Belle.
She waltzes around this small tiny town singing about how everybody sucks and they're lame.
But they're talking about how she's lame too. Like she's like she reads and shit. It's like she's like an alien because she has a book in her hand. And like that's another thing I have down is that they make being smart and like an intellectual a sign of insanity. You know, like that's what the townspeople think is that she's
Yeah.
crazy and because her nose is always in a book. It's like because she actually reads and women shouldn't be doing that apparently.
Listen, that's why I like Belle. Belle's great
Yeah.
for this reason. We're just kind of moseying through these sins. But I do want to say that, making fun of the baker, making fun of, it's just not going to win you friends.
Well, I mean, is she making fun of them, or is she like making? Is she just kind of bored with? Because she's got this big imagination. She does all this reading. She probably knows that there's a big world out there, and she's just like, it's the same old shit every day. I don't know if I read it as an insult against the baker as much as I read it as just I'm bored off my ass and I need to get out of here. It's like the girl that grows up in the sticks that wants to go to New York.
You're probably right. I mean, you're 100% right. You're not probably right. You're absolutely right.
You
But
don't have to say that. You can argue with me. This is
no, no, no,
fine.
no.
It's a
I
safe
I want
space.
to admit that it's right, but also like I also feel that there is an issue on both sides of not making friends. No one is interested in everybody. She doesn't want to learn how bread is made. He just want to read a book.
Are you trying to say that she needs to domesticate herself in order to be liked?
No, I'm saying that you could be friendly and go, "Hey, man, how was your day?" Rather than, "Ugh, your day's always the same."
Blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You guys are boring. Mm-mm-mm. Well, I mean, Ariel kind of did the same thing, right? She's just like, oh, she's like always like daydreamy about like land and sand and feet and streets and everything. And it's like she's fantasizing about something else out there. I think that's like the one common thread between all the princesses, right? Is that they have these big dreams that go beyond where they are. And it just kind of manifests itself in different ways. Like Ariel takes some extreme measures in order to realize that world. Belle is kind of like, I don't know, I'm just going to keep reading books, I guess. Like she doesn't have a plan for any of this. And then Pocahontas, that one's a weird one. Like there's like a song about it, just around the river bend. Like there's a song about it, but I don't know if she ever really tries to make. I mean, I guess we'll get to Pocahontas, I guess. Anyways,
Well,
okay,
in Disney World, that's called the "I Want" song.
right,
And
yes,
every main character in these musicals have one of what they want.
mm-hmm.
Maybe not in the modern era. Like I don't see Brave like or anything kind of going that distance. I don't think she has an I Want song. But these golden age princesses, they all have the song about what they want. Now it used to
Mm-hmm.
be about wanting love, and a lot of these now are now just about wanting change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I
This
need to
is
get out of here.
justice, and they're bored, and I don't fault them for that
Mm-hmm.
because if you live a life of luxury every day and you're stuck in a castle, that castle's still a cage.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's and like I guess Belle's town is kind of like a cage. I don't think Pocahontas was like thinking about her environment as a cage. She just had kind of like these big dreams that were kind of I don't know, nondescript and like elusive, I guess. Like they weren't
Right.
very specific to anything.
No, they're just more about nature's cool.
Look at the willow and the river bend and the waves and the ripples
It's all
and
really badass.
oh geez. Okay, we'll get to that one. Okay, so all right, so Belle, we have so
There's
the
also,
Stockholm syndrome. We have what
yeah.
else?
There's the whole idea that redemption can only be found through love and through beauty.
Thank
Now,
you for that last point too, because that's a very important point.
because because first Belle's love redeems like, quote unquote redeems the prince, implying that a woman's compassion can fix him. So we have the I can fix him kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, so what if he threw a bunch of shit at me earlier today?
Yeah, and it's holding me prisoner. Thank you very much.
And this kind of reinforces that. This reinforces that theory of I can fix him. And then on
Right.
top of that, the moral of the story is still kind of ties goodness to beauty, in
Yes.
that Belle's inner and outer beauty contrasts with the whole ugly characters.
Mm-hmm.
So it reinforces the problematic visual that's kind of like equating attractiveness with moral worth.
Yes. I mean, especially because like the prize for the beast in the end, it's not like she just fell in love with the beast because he saw the light and he became a kind soul or whatever, but he also became hot,
Yeah.
right? Like that's the prize. Is because he looks like Brad Pitt in Legends of the Fall by the time the spell is broken, you know, and it's just like, oh, icing on the cake. If not the entire cake, thanks.
And in the original story, the beast was always kind. He was very, he didn't want someone picking his roses, which is why he kept the father. So that was a little weird.
Hmm.
But then, and regardless of how Belle ended up in his captivity, he was very kind to her the entire time. He didn't throw anything, he wasn't mean to her. And here he kind of wins her over with goofiness and then a library.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's goofiness and like he has like these moments of softness, like these moments of like vulnerability that you see kind of early on after you see him like bang some stuff around and like lose his temper a few times. So there's cracks in the armor pretty early on, right? I think it's like to make it more acceptable to us that she winds up with him and winds up falling for him, right? Because a lot of this in the beginning is very transactional, because he's like, oh, there's a woman here, finally. She's going to break the spell. And he's like, I know what to do. And it's like, do you even feel anything for this woman? Like, you can just like make somebody fall in love with you, right? And yeah, I think that that is a problem early on. The fact that, I mean, but I will say, even as problematic as it is lovely. Like, my heart went a flitter a few times as they were falling for each other and playing in the snow.
Listen, you just asked for the sins. I'm going to tell you right now, I love this movie.
We can continue on the sins. We can continue on the sins. I jumped the
Listen,
gun.
I'm not saying that this is a bad movie, and I'm not saying Little Mermaid is a bad movie. They're both bangers. They're both
Oh God,
amazing.
no! This one, okay. This one is more of a banger than Little Mermaid for
Oh yeah,
me.
no, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I mean, I do think that Belle is probably one of the best Disney heroines that we've had, despite the fact that she lets him off pretty easy with like his really angry and abusive behavior and everything that should not have been. And the thing, another thing I like about Belle is that she's not man obsessed from the beginning, you know? She's just like, leave me alone with my books, I'm cool, you know? Which is like, she's like, I don't need any man. It's not man based. She's just like curious about the outside world and she's kind of bored with the town that she's in. But it's never romantically based ever. Even like when she's in the castle, she's like, I'm not going down there. I'm not going to go eat with that dude. Nope. Sorry. Not happening. Like she's fully rejecting him, you know, which is a natural and very sane thing to do. And then, you know, I mean, I guess like these little moments of kindness, like you said, the Stockholm syndrome thing is something that they play up a lot, you know, just like if some guy who's been a dick forever starts doing a couple nice things for you, then ooh, you should totally fall in love with him. And that is not necessarily the best message in the world.
No,
But she's a cool character.
she is cool.
Yeah.
I like all the other characters. I like Lumiere. I like, yeah, they're great.
Oh my god. No, okay, so can we talk for a second about like these are probably the best sidekick characters.
Oh yeah,
Like I want to say like maybe the entire Disney universe, maybe.
she doesn't have like a little animal friend like the other ones do, but she's got like a talking candlestick that like
Everybody
mansplains
has the
how
talking can.
it is.
Yeah, everybody has a talking candlestick. They got Mrs. Potts and they've got Cogsworth and they've got the closet, the armoire guy. They've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
yeah. I mean, he has like a whole army of furniture and knickknacks.
Yeah, and the ottoman is like a little dog. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's adorable. And you know what? And the writing was so good for these characters too. They were so cute and so endearing, like so charming. It's like you can make an entire movie with just them and I'd be there. Totally.
Yeah, and they can fight off villagers. Like they're great for
Yeah.
home
They went
defense.
full Ewok.
Yeah.
Let's throw some tables and wood at them.
Someone on the internet pointed this out yet, but a favorite character is the armoire that hides with a billy club that's waiting to fuck up villagers.
Yeah.
He's part of the furniture mob. And I'm like, yeah, that guy's rules.
That guy is awesome. That guy is so cool. He like came in a pinch too. Like he's not really like one of the main sidekick characters either. He just like comes in and has like a great moment that you
Yeah.
just like want to cheer on, you know?
He just has a thirst for human blood. I like
And you can hide bodies in him. Perfect.
Yeah. He's multi-purpose.
Yes, he is. We love
Uh,
multi-purpose in the modern day.
is this where we take on Pocahontas?
I'm afraid it is.
What are your sins against Pocahontas? I would like to know.
Okay, I'll kick us off. There's so many.
There's so many.
There's so many. Okay. So they're making it seem like, first of all, the whole colonialism thing, just a couple of bad apples. Otherwise, very reasonable, peace loving folk who just want to shake hands with Native Americans. It's like the only evil, like truly evil guy what was his name? Governor Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
And he is, you know, this caricatured, very one dimensional character who just wants gold and glory. And he is like the one person who does not change his mind about anything. Everybody else is kind of just like they started off bad, but they kind of came around in the end, which we all know is a complete whitewashing of how settlers came into the United States and basically committed a genocide against an entire group of people.
I mean, it's almost the white savior syndrome. Almost.
Totally. Yeah. No, I think that you're right. I think that you're right. That's totally right. Because, like, John Smith in this is kind of
Voiced
like
by Mel Gibson.
voice of all people, right? Okay. Voiced by Mel Gibson, but who, I mean, at the time, I was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah, at the
cool.
time, it was a fine, cool selection. You know, like, hindsight's 2020.
It is. It does kind of center him a bit. Like, it makes him kind of like the moral of the story. Like, he's the one that turned around. She was like the one that kind of like taught him like the ways of her people and like opened his eyes or whatever. But like, because he is like this major character and he started off evil and then became not, he has the story arc, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't. Like, she's kind of, I mean, I guess she changes a little bit, but wasn't she always, did she really change that much in between when she met John and when he left, other than the fact that they fell in love, which is another sin? But
She also has magical powers that allows her to speak English.
if she just listens with her heart,
Yes, yes.
take that, Duolingo.
Yeah.
What am I paying $80 a year for? I just have to meditate and listen with my heart to learn Dutch?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Also, behind the scenes, there's a lack of indigenous authorship
Yes.
in that no one really of the culture participated in writing about the culture.
Well, they had consultants, right? So they did hire some consultants, and they had some actors and some voice actors of Native American descent. But from what I read, there was one particular consultant on the movie who like tried to consult on it, but then felt really ashamed about it afterwards. Like she didn't want to participate in this because of like all of the historical inaccuracies in it,
Right.
and she felt bad about it later.
Yeah. I'm understood.
They kind of like make Native American people seem just like connected to every piece of nature, and that's their entire identity. It's just like, I'm listening to the wind and looking at ripples in the water, and there's a blue corn moon, and the river is wild and wise, or whatever. And it's just like, is that all Native Americans? I don't know. I think that they kind of made them this very, like, generalized group of people.
They also over sexualized Pocahontas.
You think?
Who was 10 when she met John Smith, like between the ages of 10 and 12.
Okay.
And so here they aged her up and they threw her into a mini skirt, gave her some jewelry, and gave her gorgeous hair.
Mm-hmm.
But
A mini skirt. Don't forget the mini skirt.
yeah, it's just not great. And there's a lot of making out in this movie, like a lot more than I remembered.
She makes out with a guy who calls her a savage and uncivilized.
That's worse than Belle. Belle didn't give it up. Belle was like, Belle got angry when Belle needed to get angry.
And she was very curious. Like, she was very just kind of like, I don't know. Like, she was like very tentative, But Pocahontas is just kind of like leaning in with this guy,
Yeah, no, you are hot, and I'm gonna hide you and then make out with you later, and we're gonna have a
Yes.
bunch of kissing scenes.
And we're going to meet in front of my grandma. We're going to meet at my grandma's house. It's going to be on.
So weird.
It is so weird. I mean, yeah, so she was 10 to 12, and she never even had like a romantic relationship with John Smith. She had a relationship where she got married to a man named John Rolfe.
Right. She's
And
Rebecca
that's when
Wolf.
she went to England.
Right.
And so the historical inaccuracies are just insane in this. And I mean, it's like, okay, so backing up a little bit, a big question is whether or not we, like, given Disney's brand, whether we should expect historical accuracy for an animated movie like this. That's number one. Number two, on the other side of that, should they have even tackled this at all, given what the actual history is? And I think that that's the bigger question, right?
I think they should have. Listen, I know this movie is beloved. I know it has people who love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a very good reason why there isn't a lot of merch for this movie. They can't merch out this movie the way that they do everything else because Disney knows it's wrong.
Right.
You can't sell Pocahontas stuff for Halloween.
They got just a ton of backlash too. For like at the time that this movie, like, not now even. Like, I mean, I think that people have kind of just been like with the movie now, but
And I think that's a good barometer. I think, like, can we dress up like your character? If the answer is no, because it insults a group of people, then maybe the character is flawed.
Yeah. It's kind of like, if Disney made an animated movie about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, it made it like this whirlwind romance.
God, I feel like that's right around the corner. And it's going to he ends up leaving the presidency and they run off together and there's like 5 songs.
Including a song that is made for her about her yearning to be with a slave owner, obviously.
Yeah. Or she's running through the fields.
The cotton field. With cotton fields just bursting all over the place. And then little cotton balls start dancing around too. And they're like doing a little dance number.
Sentient cotton balls. Like girl. No, we're writing
this podcast has officially got off the rails.
I don't know why we're not writing this down. Write this down. We've got the next Disney movie.
This is the next big Disney hit, if you ask me. I think we figured it out, Erin.
Yeah. Like we've got Fluffer, the little cotton ball sidekick. We've got
Jesus. Oh God. Okay. All right. Let's get it together. We're talking about Pocahontas. All right. We'll talk about our pitch to Disney about Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings later. It really, really lets colonizers off the hook. Like all they need to do is meet a cool Native American, and they're like, "Oh man, it's cool. I mean, we're gonna stay here, just so you know, but we're not as like murdery as we were before." It's kind of like the feeling that you're left with at the end of the movie, which has some problems.
Listen, it wasn't that she was cool, it was that she was hot.
Sure. She's very hot, so is John,
Yeah.
right?
So you have
Like
two
they kind of like
puppets.
look at each other and just like, ooh, and she's like, they start doing that like close up of Disney princess faces. That's like, ooh, like where their lips are kind of like pouty and their
Uh-huh.
like eyes are all big. And she definitely gets that treatment in this film. Like she is hot to the max, like gorgeous, like the prettiest Disney princess we've ever seen, probably.
Listen, she's absolutely gorgeous, and she's very charming. But okay, this is my major issue with Pocahontas, and it's that none of the songs are memorable, and none of them you can sing along to.
I mean, okay, maybe this makes me a freak. But when this movie first came out, I actually liked it a lot. But this is before I knew like how bad that period of time was. Like my dad filled me in on that like later, I think. Like he was really big into history, like Native American history, Black history, all of that stuff. And so he was fully aware of all of those things, but it wasn't necessarily something that they were super like digging into in school. They were just talking about conflicts and stuff. They never used the word like genocide, which is kind of like what it was. Like they were trying to exterminate people to take their land.
The movie
And
ends on this note where it's like, and then they were gone forever. Goodbye. And you're like, oh,
no, they don't leave. They didn't leave. It's Jamestown. It's
no.
Jamestown. We all know what Jamestown is.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and they made it seem just like, now we're going to be cool now. And it's like, what's the sequel to this Thanksgiving? Where everybody's like in the kitchen cooking with one another. They're like, oh, we do mac and cheese at our Thanksgiving. What do you do? It's like, oh, we do green bean casserole. It's like, well, we're going to get them both this time. I think that when you're talking about a subject like this, there is a certain degree of responsibility that you bear to honor the people that were lost.
It was super brutal, and
Yeah.
they just whitewashed all the brutality out of it.
Yeah, I mean, and well, and the funny thing is, like, I think that they were trying to hint towards it because there is a moment towards the beginning, like with John Smith on the boat, where he's saying, "Oh, I've seen savages before. I know what I'm doing about these savages." Like he's killed a whole bunch of people before, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, "I've
no,
seen these
total
guys."
serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's like a badass warrior because of it. And I don't think that kids are going to catch that because they don't understand the context of it. Like it just because it's very vague. They don't go into specifics about it. They're just like, I have seen savages before, you know.
first off, if I heard the word savage one more time, it was like starting to make my eye twitch.
You mean you don't like that word, that song, Savages?
No, no, I did not care for it at all. Everybody was so bloodthirsty, and they
Hmm.
were looking forward to killing savages, and they were looking forward to killing everybody, and then they were disappointed when they didn't get the chance.
Hmm.
Like, oh, we drove them back, but we didn't kill anybody.
Mm.
It's just it's just a terrible. Yeah, I don't think Disney would pick it now.
I don't think so either. No, I mean in this climate, I think it would be very difficult for them to get away with a movie like this. I think that they need to stick to the fantasy stuff, like the Pixar stuff. Amazing, like
Right.
great, like amazing. I love all the Pixar stuff. But yeah, you could not. I think that if you're gonna deal with like actual historical characters, given what we know and given like our current access to information and to history, like we aren't beholden to the only the things that we learn in the classroom anymore. Like you can't pull the wool over people's eyes like that so much anymore without drawing a lot of backlash,
Right.
you know. And so I think that the internet age has made that kind of impossible, probably for the better. I mean, I don't think that it should take another stab at this at all. I think it should just leave it alone, leave it to the documentarians or something. Just get out of this business, you know, like for devastating periods of history where, you know, millions of people were probably killed. Like, let's let the historians handle that one.
So, are we going to check this, or are we going to cherish these movies?
Okay, so let's go on one by one. Little Mermaid,
Oh,
cherished.
love it, love it.
Amazing. Like I
It's
said,
an
I
amazing
know
movie.
every single song to that movie still. I hadn't seen it in years.
I love the deranged cook. I love Under the Sea. I will go on. I
Kiss
will
the
go
Girl.
on this movie. It's so good. It is
Kiss
so.
the Girl is so good with the little fireflies going around. It's very cute. Very
I
cute.
do have a question.
Yes.
If she is the only one that can speak English, what does that scene look like to Eric? Like, if she's the only one that can speak, like, to the animals, I mean.
Oh, okay.
So she's speaking to the animals, and the animals are speaking English, and we know she understands them. Does Eric no understand, or is it
I
just
think
like,
he does, because he hears them. He's like, "What was that?" Like he's like always saying, "What was that?" Like he hears things, and then I think like in the boat, actually, when they're doing Kiss the Girl, like he hears something, and that makes him turn around and like lean in or something,
yeah,
like because they're
because
kind of like goading him
Sebastian
on.
does whisper her name to him, and
Ariel.
he kind of hears
Her
it.
name is Ariel.
Yes. Ah, it's so good.
Is that a
So
good
good.
Sebastian?
Listen, like, we make fun of this movie, but we love this movie.
Oh my god, it's so great. It just make okay. Yes, it's a fucking movie about a mermaid, for fuck's sake. It's like not real. It's a fantasy. It's
Yes,
fine. She's singing underwater. You don't even hear her gurgle or choke or anything. It's not real. It's
right.
like they're
And
mer
she doesn't turn
people.
to the sea foam and die. I'm very happy about that. That makes me happy.
Eric literally takes a rope and dives like 15 leagues underwater to go save somebody. It's like,
Oh, he would have died like 2 minutes in.
oh,
Yeah,
I
but he's
know. Didn't
there
get the
for a
bends,
while.
nothing. I
Yeah, with
mean,
nothing. Yeah.
this is not a documentary, folks. I mean, it is a fantasy story. If you, I fully endorse people showing this to your kids. Just have a talk with your daughters afterwards and your sons. You know,
Yeah. She's not the greatest role model, but fine. It was,
she's got
what
a beautiful voice
beautiful voice.
and a great outfit.
Belle's a better role model. I
Belle is
like
a way better role model.
Yes, Belle we enjoy. I like Beauty and the Beast more than I like The Little Mermaid.
Beauty and the Beast. Okay, once again, a movie that I had not seen in ages, but I rewatched and still knew every single line to and knew every single song. And oh my gosh, by the way, such a treat to have it on with subs on. It might be sacrilege to some people, but like the lyrics in these songs are so fucking good. Like they're so clever and they're so smart. They're almost poetic. Like I feel like this is like peak Disney song. Like this is like the peak Disney song movie. You've got the Gaston song, which is great. You've got the beginning song when she's like going through the town, which I think is called Belle or something. And
Yes.
then you've got Beauty and the Beast, of course,
Be Our
which is
Guest.
Be Our Guest is such a great song. It's like I was kind of like dancing in my seat when I was watching. It was so cute.
It's just such a good movie,
It
and
is.
it's
It
so
is.
wonderful. And
Yes.
one of my favorite things to watch ever is the Siskel and Ebert review when they first saw this movie, because
Uh huh.
they're so delighted by it.
Mm-hmm.
And to see these two old curmudgeons, like, kind of, and I like Siskel and Ebert a lot, but
Oh, I
I'm
love
just
them.
saying, like, they usually kind of like don't enjoy animation, but they are so jazzed to see this film.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a
No.
lovely piece of like history. I
When they're
love it.
both delighted, it's great.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
like makes it gives me a warm fuzzy feeling on the inside because I love to watch those two argue, but when they both like unite on a movie and they're just like tickled by it, it's great.
yeah. And they liked Little Mermaid, but they loved Beauty and the Beast.
And this was I think the first animated film nominated for Best Picture, right?
Yes,
Yes, and
correct.
well deserved.
And well,
Like, and they were improving the animation a lot too, like the ballroom scene, like where they dance and stuff. I think that was like the first time we saw like actual like computer generated, like a computer generated setting that like was in contrast to like the normal like animation style and everything.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I think it was because I remember watching that in the theater and said, I don't think I've ever seen that done in a Disney movie with this animation style before.
I
It was
think it was
gorgeous.
the first time for a Disney movie. I know that there's some animation movies that did use CGI or did use computer graphics or
Mm-hmm.
early computer graphics in their films, like things like Rock and Rule did that.
Okay. Okay.
But I think this is the first time it like was more incorporated. Like
Yeah.
it was like a scene and then it didn't really mesh with the other animation.
Well, I remember it so distinctly too, I think when I saw it in the theater because it's like they enter this ballroom and it's just like this moment like where you see this
Yeah.
beautiful setting and it's just like and the song is playing and Angela Lansbury's singing it.
And it's such a great like tribute to everybody that's in that movie that we've now lost.
Yes.
They all like was part of this because it's a great way to be remembered.
Yeah. No, it gave me the fuzzies. I got the warm and fuzzies and I like got teary-eyed at one point too when I was watching it. It was so good.
Oh,
I adore this film. I adore it. I
Jerry
adore
Orbach in this film also, like,
it. Which one?
Jerry Orbach from Law& and Order.
Yes. Yes. So good. They had like a great voice acting cast for this.
Yeah.
Like Gaston not getting enough credit at all. Like that is a great voice performance. He's so funny.
Robbie Benson is the Beast. So
Yes.
good.
I know, I know. So good. I mean, this is like a masterpiece for Disney for me. Like
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
just it doesn't get too much, but I think The Lion King is up there for me. Like The Lion King is just like, but this is so
It's
good.
a listen, I can't say no notes because I clearly have notes.
We both have notes. Look, it's fine. Look, like I said, it's like Little Mermaid. It's like this is about a man under a spell, and there's a rose, and when it wilts, like he's a beast forever. Like it's not based on real life. It's like it's hopeful. This girls should not stay with abusive dudes like this. No, but you like to think that people can change, and I'm sure people have. It's just not very common, right? It's not something you
Right.
want to teach your daughters. And so I think that it gets away with it because once it's a fantasy, two, it's kind of like Belle isn't some pushover necessarily. She's always approaching him with a lot of caution and skepticism. She doesn't come around immediately to it. And he's a lonely dude, and you want to believe that you know people or beasts like this can reform and change, and the power of love is just that powerful. Once again, this is not common, but it can happen, I think, and it's just a lovely, beautiful telling of it. And it has a great villain. He's hilarious. And, it's got a great heroine and a great ending where, once again, he does kind of look like Brad Pitt in Interview with a Vampire or Legends of the Fall. Long haired Brad Pitt.
No issues there.
No issues there. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. It was just like,
Um,
perfect.
Pocahontas. I
Okay.
would not watch it again, to tell you the truth.
You didn't.
I wouldn't. I was kind of not looking forward to watching it this time just to go over it again because it had been like 10 years since I've seen it or 15 years since I've seen it.
Right.
And I was like really dreading watching it because of this podcast. And now I have to say very clearly it'll be another 15, 20 years before I watch it again.
Yeah. So I had not watched it maybe in 20 years or so. I remembered most of the songs. I did not remember all the scenes like I did for like Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast as well. But it was shocking. It was like a totally different experience watching it now than when I was a kid. And it is very hard to cherish this movie. Like I think the one thing like there's a couple of things that has going for it, right? There's a couple of things it's trying to do. Like the animation is beautiful. It is, if you turn the sound off, it is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous movie to watch, and there's a lot of very talented people that worked on this film.
Yes,
Both,
and
yeah,
and
and
and she's not like some push. She's not a pushover. And like she saves him. She doesn't go with him at the end like all the other Disney princesses do. She stays back with her fam and her community, and it's like, okay, that's cool, I guess. Like she's not giving it all up for some dude who called her a savage, but the other things are so bad that it's like it's hard to say that those things make up for it.
there's no songs in there that I can latch on to. There's nothing like toe tapping that's kind of jazzy. Like there's nothing. Maybe the Savages song, but you don't want to be singing that. Like,
Maybe you need to just listen with your heart, Aaron.
oh, that's how I'm learning Italian.
Listen with your heart, and the songs will be better.
Listen, I
You'll
listened with
understand them
my
better.
heart, and my heart said no.
Your heart's like, fuck you.
Like,
Fair enough. Fair
like
enough.
as much. Listen, I just want to say that, and I know that this movie has a lot of love, and I know that it has a lot of fans, and I really, really don't want to upset Disney fans because they're a scary bunch.
Well, here's the thing. I think I feel like my dad kind of figured it out. Like he was very good about talking about movies after we watched them. Like we saw we watched anything we wanted when we were kids. But I mean, I think that at the end of the day, first of all, like we knew that if we did anything stupid, we'd have our asses handed to us. Secondly, he was really good at talking to us about it, like in the wake of seeing it. And I think that if you're going to show your kids this movie, show it to them. If they love the songs, great. But make them aware of what the actual history is afterwards and say, like, look, this is a complete redo. Like, this is not historically accurate at all. They got these things wrong. You know, it's attempting at this message of unity and just acceptance and everything. It's trying to do that. I'm not sure if it's very successful in that, if you know the actual history. If you don't, I don't know. It's still a little bit weird, but
I think that's great. I think it's a good idea just to talk with your kids with whatever they're reading or watching. I think that
yeah.
that's a good idea, even if it's just a television show, even if it's a video game. I think it's good to be engaged.
I feel like that's a lost thing nowadays too. It's like you have kids like who have their own computers and they're isolated in their rooms. They're absorbing this stuff without any context, not knowing where to look for the actual facts and information and everything. And it's like, and that's hard. That's hard to combat, you know. And I think that, like, if you are a Disney family, then be that Disney family, love it, own it. Just know that there's probably a reason why there's no Pocahontas at Disneyland, and there's a reason for that.
He's not going to get a ride anytime soon. Going to be
No.
a themed parade. There may be some sort of anniversary, but it's only going to end in a DVD re-release.
Yeah, a very quiet DVD re-release, most
Yes.
likely. But yeah, just talk to your kids about it afterwards and just make sure they know what actually happened. And if they still want to enjoy the songs, just make sure that they have the context, I guess. I mean, it is a stunning, like, it's a technical feat of animation, especially for the time. It's beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous looking movie, but it just gets a lot wrong. So it's a tough one. I don't need to watch it again. I think it's hard for me to tell anybody to never watch it. I don't know. It's a tough one. I might have to check this one. I don't need to see it again. I know too much now. It's like I know too much, and so it's like when I was ignorant to it, it was great. But now I know too much about what actually happened, so it's not as enjoyable.
I think for one of our follow-up podcasts, if we make this a Disney series, is like we should then take on all the dude-driven movies. 'Cause
Ooh,
I can't wait to talk about like Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Hunchback, yeah, and Aladdin.
Oh, but Hunchback's got that like weird rapey song.
Yeah. You know what? I listened to that. I actually like went to the Hans Zimmer concert like a month ago in Anaheim, and on the way home, I don't know what came over me. I was listening to the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and I
It's so
was like,
good. It's a
the
good
songs are
soundtrack.
fantastic. No, like they up their game for the songs there. Like the songs there are
Bells of Notre Dame is
great.
okay. So that's for the next one.
Topsy Turvy,
Yeah.
great
Li-
song.
You got Kevin Kline in the voice. Oh, it's so good.
And Tom Hulse, you got Amadeus himself. So good.
Any more?
Yes, as Esmeralda. I totally forgotten about that, by the way, until I like looked it up recently. So yeah, I think that we have to do that at some point.
All right. All right. So that is our discussion for today. We've decided that we are going to keep Little Mermaid and Belle, and we are going to check Pocahontas.
We're gonna check Pocahontas, and if you decide to show it to your kids, just make sure to have
Have a
an
discussion.
honest conversation with them about it, about like what actually happened, because this ain't it by a long shot. But you know, it's like it's Disney, so I don't know what we expect from Disney in this context. They should have probably not tried to do this
And that's
this way.
parenting advice from Aaron and Chrissy. I hope you enjoy our show.
All right, signing off until next time, folks. Talk
Bye.
to you later. Bye.